Virgo, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is going to be from March 21st to the 27th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out that link down below because the signs are different. All right, so Virgo, this week we've got that lunar eclipse in your sign in Virgo here on Wednesday. So very impactful. It's been a very impactful time, I think, for a lot of you over the past roughly 2.5 years with the North Node transiting your first house. But that's all leaving, and the North Node is shifting into your 12th house, which for over the next 2 years, you've got this great opportunity to really connect to your spiritual self, to develop yourself spiritually, get that alone time, and that spiritual time out. But with this eclipse, it is still in the first house because it's going to be on that side of the North Node. So you've got this now culmination of specifically anything that you've been involved with over the past 6 months or longer, but maybe directly from the past 6 months involving yourself, involving your goals, your drives, your self-image, the things you want in life, the things you pursue. And it's excellent to continue to further these things because the lunar eclipse is a full moon, and so it's the halfway point between a lot of these matters. And so you have this status check, you have this awareness of self, this awareness of your goals, of your drives, of what you want in life. And that can help you further gain that energy momentum to continue to cultivate those things. So whether it's a culmination or not, at the very least, that awareness of self should certainly be there. Now, the lunar eclipse is going to be sextiling up to Mars, so it could be perhaps motivating. It could be there's just an opening of some sort of assertiveness or opportunity to will yourself to take some action or something, specifically with sharing your ideas or learning or reading or writing. Mars has been recently in your third house, which has been helping you really assert your ideas, perhaps take action to do some of that more communicative or learning stuff in life, which is serious because Saturn's here, and I'll talk about this in a minute, but motivating nonetheless. Now, the lunar eclipse is going to be opposing up to your ruler Mercury in that 7th house. Okay, so with all these oppositions like the full moon, the lunar eclipse, there's always this needing of balance. And this is specifically for you because of your ruler here. So first of all, you guys are probably focused on relationships or one-to-one connections right now with both Mercury and the Sun in that 7th house. And this Mercury-Sun conjunction is going to go exact on the same day as this lunar eclipse. So very impactful. Usually with this, you guys feel quite passionate, quite expressive perhaps of your ideas, maybe through those relationships or about relationships in some sense. So always with your ruler combust, the Sun, you do want to bring that extra attention to the self, right? And to what you're communicating and sharing, because the Sun can just kind of shine and engulf you basically in your self perspective, your self-awareness. So it's good to bring in that self-awareness a little bit to help everything stay nice and balanced and grounded with that self-expression. But nonetheless, it could be very creative. You guys could be feeling perhaps quite passionate about a lot of things, and it's great to write it down, to communicate it in that balanced way, and to learn more about it. Now, the opposition is suggesting that while it's a big time, I think, for you cultivating at least your self-identity and what you're achieving in life on a more of a short-term level, this is about a reminder about relationships. That they're really one and the same thing, that without relationships, of course, we can't further our own personal drives. And without our own confidence, our own personal drive, our own self-awareness, we can't cultivate relationships. So balance. And I think with this continuous change that's been happening with your relationships, you are learning more about yourself, and this creating a healthier balance between you and other. So that's going to be that lunar eclipse. Now, along with the lunar eclipse at the same time, we just so happen to have synchronistically Jupiter squaring up to Saturn. Okay, and Saturn's been this T-square forming between this opposition here with the nodes. So Saturn is saying, look, patience, take things nice and slow, take things nice and steady with the goals and stuff and with the relationship stuff, but also with your, again, spirituality, because Jupiter has been transiting your 12th, helping you understand more about your psyche or about spirituality, about rest and relaxation and faith and trust. And that's a great place to continue to expand, but just make sure you're taking the grounded approach. And the grounded approach is also over here in the 6th house, which is where you've got Venus, which I'll talk about here in a little bit, in regards to, I think, enjoying the practical, everyday grounded approach to life. This is the balance of spirituality being embodied, being practiced through your health, your diet, your routine, your work, in the everyday experiences, through the presence or whatever it is that you are involved with there. So Saturn's saying with both of these areas, with the work stuff, with the daily tasks, the routine, this is your house, Virgo. So everything that you organize and take care of on that daily level, there's also the balance and patience with the alone time and spiritual time, and making sure everything's nice and grounded with that without going to either of the extremes. The extreme of just the spiritual alone time or just the extreme of just the work. So with that balance, Saturn is actually helping keep everything nice and structured and real and long term in that sense. Now on Thursday, your ruler is going to be trining up to Mars, so you guys could be feeling perhaps a bit confident this middle part of the week, which would be great. Maybe with those relationships, and again, maybe expressing your ideas or asserting your ideas, putting them out there. Now on Friday is another important part of the week because we have Saturn going retrograde and a couple other aspects I'll talk about. So with Saturn, once a year, he goes retrograde for about 5 months. And so it's this time to reevaluate your structures in life. And this has been the structures that you've been building with your, again, communication, maybe with your mind, reading, writing, anything in the immediate environment. That's short term, short distance in your life, which could be like travel, correspondence, your daily stuff in that sense. And whatever's been, I think, more serious about this lately, and that you're structuring here with your mind and communications, it's all about re-examining that, reestablishing these structures there. Because Saturn is helping you build a stronger, more grounded mind, a stronger, grounded sense of communication, and dealing with the synergy of life, the to and fro energies of life. And he's going to be paused this week, so it's good to just kind of pause for a second. Until we get into next week, he'll start to then really go retrograde, but he's stationed. So just kind of sit with that stuff and reflect on it around Friday. Now, Saturn is going to be squaring up to Venus. So like I was saying, the balance of not only the spiritual, but with the practical. And like I said, you can really enjoy, I think, either taking care of the daily stuff or your health, your self-improvement, these types of matters, especially when done in a patient and limiting way. We want to have a healthy amount of self-limitation there, so it's done correctly and balanced and that sort of stuff. And because of the configuration, Venus is going to be opposing up to Jupiter. Okay, so you guys could be feeling perhaps a bit optimistic about some of those things. And again, a reminder that this is a spiritual time for you to get that rest and relaxation and that alone time. Now, Venus also does rule your 9th and your 2nd house, so stay nice and grounded with the financial material stuff as well as what's possible in life, because you could be very optimistic about that, and so you want to stay balanced. Now, on Saturday, the sun does trine up to Mars, so this is good direct, again, communication, maybe with those relationships, one-to-one connections, which could be good over the weekend. And then also on Saturday, Venus does sextile up to Pluto. So there is this opening for change. This new, routine, regiment, work, something that could be changing. It's not a major thing, but it's something to remember that, you're really changing your structures in life. You have been for many years, whether it's your home, your family, your health. And so continuing to change that can actually be directly supportive with that everyday routine stuff. All right, Virgo, so have an excellent week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.